Okay, hey everyone. So it turns out that I was talking for about 10 minutes and didn't hit the go live button. So here I am now. Let's just recap real quick. We are continuing on from last week's project, which is a horoscope app based on ChatGPT. What I've just done now is I've tried to reorganize the folder structure here at the moment. You probably can't really see that. So I've got onboarding and I've got horoscope. So horoscope contains everything that we did last week, and onboarding is a new view that I'm going to create now, because what I want to do is create like this onboarding screen that asks the user for like their star sign and a couple of other bits of information that we can pass along to ChatGPT. Because if we do that, then what we can do is I'll show you this canvas real quick. So we can see where we left off. Oh, no, it's not going to work because we've got this. Let's just comment that out real quick. Come back. Please let me know if the quality is crap, because I might have to try and fix something with the internet. It's coming through at my end, looking really blurry, but I'm hoping it delays the feed so that it can catch up. But so this is where we left off. What I want to do is actually put in some good design for this. I want to try and do the parallax thing. I think I'm going to try a rotary wheel down the bottom. The idea behind that is that we can create a custom SwiftUI view. It's complex, so I'm hoping that we can learn something from this. And we're going to use some gestures, I think, to do the swiping back and forth. Because at the moment we've just got this scroll view that we're using, and it's like you can't detect when it's hit a new indentation, I'll call it, like when it gets to you don't know which one it's landed on, and I don't think you can get that information through SwiftUI just yet. So this isn't going to work for us. We need it so that when you scroll, the background changes and it's like a different star sign. So we need this view connected to the view above, and I think we're just going to have to do a lot of custom stuff to make that happen, unfortunately. But that's for later on in the stream, because what will happen is that it'll just I don't think I'll get it finished, right? I want to complete something this time around, so I want to do the onboarding view, get that finished, maybe put like a nice background on it, like a dark blue, like a starry sky, and then pass this information along to ChatGPT every single time we do a request, right? So remember how in our view model here we've got our current horoscope text, not this one. This is our prompt here. What we want to do is set up two prompts. So at the moment we've just got the one which is like the user prompt that gets passed through. And remember that any time you interact with the API and ChatGPT, you need to send the entire conversation, because that way it gets context of what's happened before. There isn't like a session or a token you pass back. You have to pass through the entire conversation. So what we'll need to do is collect the user information, save that to the app, use that as the initial prompt, like, hey, these are my details. And then we need to put on top of that, like, what's the daily horoscope? We can do it all in the first message perhaps, but I want to set it up so that we've got the ability to add more, because there'll be other parts in the app where we're like, okay, cool, now give me my weekly. Right, we might want to prompt for more and say, give me my weekly, and then pass back all the information that we've already sent. So that's kind of where my mind's at the moment, but we'll see how we go. And I've got some good prompts that we can use, and we can fill in some blanks in here. So we'll just use like this kind of, we'll pass through our information in here and into the prompt. Okay, so yeah, because I've done there's a little bit more research that's been done since last week, and I've got some advice from other people who are watching. So how to go about getting the correct information from ChatGPT. The other thing is too, at some point I want to also build like a tarot app. I feel like that would be even easier, because they're kind of like static information. Like a card is well known as to what a card is, and I'm pretty sure GPT will know what that is. And the prompts will be far more simple. You don't have to pass anything. It doesn't have to make up a story or anything like that. You just spit back what the card is. I guess we could like hard code those values as well, but I think it's more interesting if GPT like puts a little bit of flavor in there. We could make it, actually the flavor text idea is kind of cool, because you could having the settings like I want it to be aggressive. I want to be aggressively told what my horoscope is, as if it's like by someone really rude. Trust you to go live the one day that my boss is. I'm so sorry. I was supposed to go live this time yesterday, but I was just too tired. But anyway, welcome. You can mute me and have me on the background. I don't know. You can always watch the stream after as well. Okay, so onboarding view. Let's get this going. Start this up. So we also want to do previews. I think put the new preview thing here. Yeah, there we go. Onboarding view. And then in here, we need to throw in something. Just past that. Yeah, cool. Now we get a little preview working. All right. So obviously we go with a V stack. And then in here, we're going to put, I'm going to try, I haven't used the form before. Can we set the background color on a form? So if we can go like a, I don't know, background style, shape style, can we do something like this? Looks like the forms don't work that way. Okay. I think we'll be pushing uphill if we're trying to do a form thing, something I haven't used before. So we might just go with the regular scroll view, and then we can make our own cells and rounded stuff. Yeah, let's just go with that. So let's start with, we'll go with the scroll view. And then this way we can set a background here. Which would be, you know, we can put in our yeah, I mean that works well enough. Cool. We're not going to go with red. We'll throw in a gradient. Okay, so for the scroll view, in here we need to accept. Let me just check what it is we need to actually do here. All right, let's put a title, which is, I don't know, enter your star sign details. What are we going to have? Please help, please let us get to know you. So some sort of flavor text. What would be in a horoscope style app? I don't know, tell us about yourself. I feel like that's too much, right? About you. I want it to be kind of like more mystical. I guess we could use ChatGPT to come up with a title for this screen, but I feel like that's just wasting time. Tell us about yourself. Yeah, whatever. Let's just go with that for now, and then we'll just go font, title, cool. And then, yep, we've got some scrolly happening. Let's throw this outside the scroll view, so we'll always have it at the top of the screen. And then in here, we will put some text fields, right? So text field will pass through. Are you going to be doing all the cool animations in the stream, or won't be going in that detail UI wise? Depends how long it takes me to do this screen. I'm going to try to get to it. So that's why I'm going to power through this as quickly as I can, and hopefully I can get to, even if it's just, maybe we won't do the rotary thing today. We'll do just a swipe and then have the parallax effect on every time you do a swipe. I'm getting some ideas. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. I'm wondering if we can do like a tab view with the paging style tab view and just make the transition animation slower. Like different speeds, if that's possible. And then that way that kind of look like they're parallaxed. I'll keep thinking about it as we're going through. What do we got here? The text field. So we need to, okay, hang on a sec. Oh man, this is going to be. I'm also wondering if we should do like drop down boxes for this, because you can't really input this text. You need to put in, because there's only 12 of them to choose from, right? Let me check out. I'm going to ask for help. Give me 1 sec. Okay, cool. Yeah, so these should be dropped down. So I think what we really need to do is have enums here, right? And this will be, do we have that already? No, we do not. Okay, cool. Wait, I thought we did. I thought last time we had an enum for this. Oh, it's down here, star sign. Cool. Okay, yeah, let's get rid of that because we need to actually put this into separate. And we'll just do a new file, star sign. All right, I'm just getting responses here. Oh man, I'm starting to think now, if we put in, just ask people for their date of birth, it can work it all out, right? That's all we really need. If we just ask for their date of birth, date picker, okay, I'm getting some feedback. So apparently what I need to do, like one of the things I could do is do the whole date of birth thing, but it would require us to set up a little bit of a database so that we can match their date of birth with what star sign they have. And then there's other stuff that comes with it too. Like you're not just an Aries or something. It depends on the time of day that you were born as well. And that needs to get passed through. And I think it's probably just going to be easier to ask the user that information, like what they are, right? So like, yeah, so I've got all the dates, the date brackets here. Let's just keep this simple. So I can add all that extra stuff later. So if we start with just the date picker, then I can just do the date. Yeah, we won't do the extra stuff. We'll just do what your actual star sign is. And what I can do then is like, because we've got this star sign enum, what we could do, we can have a function here. We can pass through a date and it can return which one it is, right? So we could go, maybe even we just do like a static function on this. And then here, because static means we can just call it directly. Like we don't need to, yeah, we can just call it directly on the type. So, okay, so you need birth charts and stuff is what I'm being told. Person will have to use birth chart website first and then enter it in there. Yeah, so let's just skip all that. I'm really, you can tell that I really don't know too much about this stuff. So this function is going to take in a date. So star sign from date, and we just return star sign. So this is almost like an initializer, right? And then we'll do like a switch on date ranges. I think we can actually do that. We can have date. I think Swift lets you do that. So let's just try that out. So let's go with switch. Here we'll have. It needs to be. How do you do it within a range? Switch range, right? So this is something new we're going to learn. switch Swift range. I'm just looking this up on Google. Switch case with range. So we've got if we switch on date, I wonder if we get some auto completion here. Switch date. This probably won't work, but let's say we go case. Distant future, distant past. Oh, maybe. What do we get here? Do we get a... What do we get? Switch must be exhaustive. So if we add everything, we got a default. You know what? This might actually work. So we've passed through the date. We don't want to do distant past. We want this to be a range of dates, right? So we want this to be... And we don't care about the year. It's only the months. Oh, this is going to be tricky. This is going to be really tricky. Because we need to strip out the year and just make sure that it's between two dates of any year. Okay, let's do a search for that. Excluding year. How to check if a date is between two dates regardless of year. Okay. I would get the date components for month and day for the date and do a simple comparison of the values. Yeah, I was thinking date components. So let's just have a look at the next one. You cannot ignore the year, especially if the turn of the year is within the interval. Okay, yeah. And its current date is involved. Practically, you want to check if the date is within December of the current year and January of the next year. The build the start date by setting the month, date of 15, date 12, yeah, points. Oh, man. What does this do? Create a dictionary with each star sign and the date range as a string. You are absolutely correct. I don't need to do anything with the actual date, do I? Really? Do I? How do I do a range check if it's a string though between the two? Hang on. I see where you're going with this though. All right, hang on a second. So if we go, so I've got the date. I've got the dates here. So we go. Let's just type these out here. So we got. Aries is. We got March, which is the 3rd. So let's say we go, let's say our date string is, and you're thinking like maybe, you have to check if the date selection falls between the range so that the idea might not work. Yeah, but I'm like, you're on the right track, I think, because we could grab, we can convert them, but I wanted to do it without the year. Oh, it's so tricky. Hey, what if we converted it to something else? Like if we had the string, we trim off the year, we just use those months and days. We check, is it between the months? If it is, check if it's between. And then you got the issue where from January to December, you've got to do a range between that, but they don't loop, they don't loop around, right? You're going from 12 to 1. And checking if something's between 12 and 1 doesn't work either. You know, I have a really dumb way of doing it. Tell me if this is really dumb. You get a dictionary of all the days in the year. It's only it's only 300 items. And then you don't have the year, and you just trim in the dictionary. Beside each date is what the star sign is. Right? So you got so let's say it's March. Let's do it the correct way. 1st of March. Right? And then we'll say, wait, what is Aries? We've got, it's the 21st. So let's start with the 21st. And then we go Aries. Right? And then the next one. Oh, why am I not getting... I think my keyboard's busted right now. Okay. And we do the same thing. We go 22nd of the 3rd. Yeah? Is this dumb? And then we just use the first value as the key to find it, which is based on the date that they input. And this doesn't even... this doesn't even have to be... We could just go star sign... Aries. Yeah, and then we get that back immediately. We just got to do it for every single day. And that'll be the whole stream. That'll just be me entering data. I could speed this up by having it print to the console every day of the year. Doing some string manipulation and stuff, but I mean, I'll do it off stream, but this is what I'm going to do. I think this is the easiest way forward. We'll just brute force it, yeah? I wonder if there's another clever way of doing this, where if it doesn't fall in... No, let's just go with this. So what I'll do is I'll have a star sign dates, I guess, and we'll create this as the dictionary. We got to do a little date formatty thingy here. So we've got date string from the input date. Oh, it'd be like a date formatter, right? String from date. Yeah, okay, so what we got to do is set up this formatter. I think these are much better now too, because remember that they used to be really expensive, but we're only doing it once, so I guess it doesn't really matter too much. So the date formatter, and I think we need to make this a var. If we say formatter.date format, and we just set it to day, month, is it small m? No, that's minute. Big M. And if we just go format a string from date, we should be okay. So the value that pops out here should be correct. We can probably we can get it in the output here for the preview. So let's just do a little print and see what we get. And then we return star sign dates. I'll make that a capital S for now because it's kind of outside of the scope. And then we'll just pass through date string, and that should give us whatever's at that position. Who we got? Oh, it's got to be. What's the default? We're gonna do a default. We just force unwrap it. No, we can't force unwrap it because we've only got 2 in there. Ah, crap. What do we do here? Optional. Handle it elsewhere. Okay. So yeah, we'll just go with optional there. And then so what I'll do is on the date picker. So right here, we'll pick the date. Selected date. We'll set this to now. And then give me. We do the displayed components. Oh, interesting, because maybe we can get away with. Can we hide the year from the user? Because if we can hide the year from them, it doesn't matter then, and then we can actually do the range thing that we want to do. Although in the future we may want to get what year they're born in because we might want to use it for like a Chinese astrology thing, right? So let's just stick with what we've got. This will be date of birth, and the selection is the selected date. Let's do a refresh here, see what we get. I want to change the style. Yeah. Oh, no, we don't need the date picker style. We want to change this to graphical. And we don't want the time on there. So how do we remove that? So that must be one of the components thing, display components. Date. Excellent. So we got rid of the time. I didn't even know we could do that. Cool, that was easy. Let me jump back to... Yeah, cool. Okay, so you pick your birth date, and when this thing changes, let's do a let's hit up that. My dog's about to bark. Let's hit up that new function that we just created, right? So we will. I think, can we do on change of? Does date picker have a change? Nah, okay, so let's just go on change of selected date. Old value, new value, excellent. And then we will just print what we get, like the output, which we're kind of already printing anyway when it, I don't know, we're printing the conversion from date to string, so this will be different. And then we just want to print the new value for now. While we test this. So I think it's rebuilt. We get, this is the print that we're getting. So this is incorrect. We don't want the time, do we? This is wrong. Oh no, because I haven't run the function, have I? No, I'm an idiot. That's why. Okay, so star sign. You guys tell I'm tired today or what? Star sign. Star sign. Oh, I don't like that. There we go. New value. And this is what we want to print. Print. Okay. Excellent. So we're getting nil. Obviously, we were in June. Here's another idea. Create a dictionary of arrays with a start date and end date for each sign. This way you can compare the date looping through the dictionary. Create a dictionary of array. Okay, hang on. Oh, I get you. Yeah. Yeah, you might need to tell the user to select the year for this way to work. I sort of get what you're saying. One of the I think there's a way easier way of doing this, and that is to actually convert it to like, okay, so just a slight tangent, right? So if we go back to the star sign here, my idea would to use a format similar to what we've got going on here, like 21 of the 3rd. The date object can be used to compare against each other. Yeah, but that's, you need the year for that, right? You can't just like trim that out and just compare the days and months. So what we would need is like a dictionary set up with the ranges for like the last 100 years. I mean, that could work too, right? I think this is just as easy, what we've done here. You got 365 of them. It's fine. It's just a quick, easy lookup. I only need to do this once. But I think there's a better way, right? So you could do some funny math, couldn't you, to make this work? So instead of 2103, you would convert this value to something else that's, like, this is a unique value. You convert it to something where you can count up from 0, and if it falls within. It's the same as... so let's have a look at what we got. Yeah, so when you loop back over from December to January, it wouldn't matter because you're converting it into a different format, right? So you don't care about the calendar anymore. So basically you convert these numbers to like 1, right? The very first one in the year, or wherever you want to start, it will be 1. You just convert the date into, do a little bit of math on it so basically what I'm saying is, you know, where you go from you go from December to January, and some calendars base their stuff on like the week of the year. Like I know that when they print computer chips, it's based on like 2 digits of the year, and then 2 of them are what week of that year, because there's 52 weeks in the year, right? You would convert it so that it is maybe 0 to 52. You find out what week you're sitting in, or what day of the year. I'm on day 234 or something like that of the year. You use those values instead, and then if that's within the range. Does that make sense? And I think you can do it with the date components, right? And then you just do if it's before 10 days, then it falls in January something. If it's after, you can do those ranges that way. I think that would be the proper way to do it. Convert the date to what day of the year. Not what day of the month, what day of the year. Anyway, that was a long... but I'm gonna stick with this because we've already done it. I don't want to go back through that. I think, and then going through, like, I'd have to find something online that does it that way, because I'm not going to sit here and convert the 21st of the 3rd to what day of the year that is and do it for all the ranges. But I think that's the way to do it, right? You get the day of the year and use that as the range. And then when you get to December, January, you go anything above 320, for instance, but under, I don't know, 12 is whatever. But let's just go with this. So we want to do 2103. So let's just see if this works. So right now our test is returning nil. So we've got 2806. If I tap 28, we get 2806. Tap 21, we get 2106. If I go back to March and I go, what was it, 21, we get our Aries back, our optional Aries. So this is working correctly. And the second one works too, but no others will. They'll all return nil because we've only got those 2 in there. So let's just let's just try and remember that this is our setup. We've got the 21st or the 22nd. That's all the data we've added for this. I'll fill the rest of it out later. And off stream, I might have a go at trying to do what I explained with the day of the year range. But let's just go with this for now. So we're going to get this information. We need to set it somewhere, and I'm going to do it in the app storage. And I think we have app storage here, and then we got to pass through. We pass through a key or something, don't we? That reflects the value from user defaults and invalidates a new view on change. Yeah. Oh, I've got to look this up. Can't remember the syntax. Yeah, okay, so we do have to pass through. This will be the user's date of birth. And we go var dob. Or do we want to do star sign? No, we want to keep the date of birth because we can do stuff with it later. That's right. We'll store both. We'll store both. We default that to now. Can we store dates and use defaults? And I think expected initial value, what have I done? No match isn't called to initializer. So it looks like we can't use date anyway. That's unfortunate. That's fine. So we go star sign. And I think this works because star sign is a string. Yeah. So because we've given it a type of string, we can store it in the app storage there. Pretty sure that's how that works. So what we do is star sign from date, which is new value. And we can stop printing that out. I think this should work. Yeah, cool. So we got it building now. I want to make this look a little bit nicer. So if I put some padding around this. Yeah, and then we change this to maybe font weight. We make it, let's just make it bold straight up. Cool. Probably some padding above it. I did put a scroll view, but we probably don't need that anymore if it's just going to be this. And then as soon as you make a selection, if they mess it up though, you don't want it to go to the next screen. Yeah, so underneath we will put, yeah, so let's get rid of this. We don't need the scroll view anymore because we've only just got this one entry. I was thinking that like maybe we'd end up having some extra text and stuff in there, but we do not. So I'm gonna put a spacer at the bottom, and then underneath that I'm putting a button. All right, so the button will be, oops, we want to have the action label. Yeah, that's the one I want. Cool. So this button will be like the continue or confirm button. Maybe save, continue, continue, and we will disable this until the star sign is not nil. So this will be disabled and true if star sign is equal to nil. Okay, so we can see here this is, you can see it's like grayed out now. I'll customize it in a little bit. I think I'll just put like the regular kind of bordered thing around it. And we make a change here. It's still going to be nil, so we can't mess this up, right? We're switching between these dates. It doesn't work. We have to go back to March 21st, and then now our continue button is highlighted. So we can tap that. And then in here, what we'll do is we'll run some code that will just go to the next screen, the one we created last week. Yes. And then what we can do is we can swipe between them and view others. So what will happen is we'll set up so that if the star sign is, so when the app launches in the future, we also want it so that when the star sign is set, like if this isn't, if we find it in app storage, it will skip this screen, the onboarding, and just go straight into whatever the daily horoscope is. And of course, we have to make sure it's daily because every single time that page loads, we don't want to be hitting up ChatGPT. We just want to do it once per day. And we can do that with the calendar and stuff and just check if, you know, we can do app storage. We could do app storage actually, but now I'm thinking maybe we use the keychain because the keychain persists throughout app deletions. And that will mean like what people could do is delete the app, re-download it, and then when the user defaults gets wiped, they could just get a new horoscope. I don't know why you would want to do multiple ones per day. You don't generally. You only need to do one, right? Like it doesn't make sense to be like, oh, I don't like that one, I'm gonna get another one. That doesn't make any sense, because it's not how they're used. So I'm kind of happy with this. I don't like the current sort of background styling of it. I would like to try and add, I don't know, like a maybe linear gradient. We go colors at the top. It's like a, do we get light or dark colors? No. Then at the bottom, I don't know, let's just go with this for now. Start point will be top, end point will be bottom. Let's see what we get. It's not great. So what we want to do is make it more like a dark sky. So we've got black at the top, blue at the bottom. Yeah, like this kind of thing, right? But obviously we can't use black. What if we do a gray? I don't like the washed out look of the gray. We might need to put our own color in there, so let's just go with well, what about a purple? I could be here all day doing this. All right, let's see how good my I can't do hue and saturation. I can do red, green, blue. I can do red, green, blue, I think. This is a value from 0 to 1. These are normalized, right? So 0. Okay, getting there. We probably need... Oh, let's go to the opposite. We want blue to be... Yeah, all right. That's a little bit better. Let's invert these. That's okay. I know it's a little bit hard to read, but I'm not a designer. We can work this out later. And the accent colors are all wrong. I think what we need to do is change the accent color to something else, like and we also need to avoid stuff that is like dark and light mode. So if we go to dark mode, oh, preview's pause, come on, rerun. If we preview it in either mode, so what we could do is we could force it to a dark mode, because it is like star signs and night sky, right? So that would actually help fix the text. And I think we do that in the P list. So let's do that. Let's go Xcode P list force dark mode. It saved me going through and changing all the text colors. User interface, UI user interface appearance key. Okay, so when you start, oh no, there it is. Okay, so we need to create UI user interface style appearance. Do we get a drop down thing? And we just have to type it in. Is that all we get? So if I go back and I set this to light, interesting. Did I mess this up? Yeah, it doesn't let me change it. Maybe it needs to be capitalized. I don't know. Let's just turn on the appearance and we'll just continue on. So this looks sort of okay. We'll change the accent colors later. I'm thinking, I don't know, it's starry sort of thing. So maybe we can make like a yellow or even an orange. They'll really stand out. So down here, what I want to do is create a... Let's see what button styles we've got first available to us. Button style, yeah, so we go bordered, prominent. See, that's okay. I think that's probably fine. Like that's probably good enough for us, right? Yeah. So up here, next step is to have the environment variable to dismiss. Is it this? Is it bool? Can't remember what it is. I can't remember what it is. Is this correct? All right, let's find out. Oh, you don't need the... Yeah, there we go. And hacking with Swift to the rescue on that. And what we'll do is just call dismiss, because what we've done is we've already saved it, right? So as soon as this gets updated, this value up here, it gets saved to the app storage immediately. And then we can just tap continue to dismiss. And the reason why we're doing it like here and not when you change the date, because we want to make sure that they've actually got a date that's selected that works with our app. And then sometimes, like when you're swiping around, you might accidentally tap on a value. You don't want it to dismiss when you do that. Right? You want to be able to hit like a confirm button. So that's what we're doing. And that will dismiss this screen. I'm kind of happy with how this looks. I've got to remember this gradient. We can maybe move the gradient elsewhere and then reuse it in other parts of the app, right? Other screens. So for the moment, I'm just going to copy and paste it. So I want to go back to the horoscope screen. This one, the star sign picker, whatever. Let's do a refresh. Yeah, so now that we're in dark mode, we've got this. Let's set the background. All right, and this text here needs to be changed as well. So we've got, where is it? Text view, yeah. Let's change this. Can we change this color? Content background. Hey, that works. Okay, that was a bit of a guess, but that works fine. Cool. Okay, now when this screen loads, we need to launch the yeah. So let's go back to the onboarding view. If this is empty, we need to launch that screen when it appears, right? So we'll throw this in here so we can grab the star sign again. I also advise everyone to, instead of like using this just plain string value here, set this up as like a constant somewhere. So you can just type, so you got like type checking in there and you're not like causing yourself to have like spelling mistakes and stuff, because this could really break things for you. So yeah, don't do what I've just done here. Make that like an actual value that you can look up. Okay, so we've got our star sign thing here. What we need to do, yeah, on appear. We can also do this in the initializer, I think, but on appear is probably fine. It will happen quick enough we won't even notice. Oh, actually, instead of on appear, what we need to do is do a full screen sheet, right? Full screen cover. And we'll base it on star sign, and this is the content. And we could even pass this through as a binding. No, we can't do this, because once you tap on a value, we're setting it and it's going to drop down. So I think that's the issue we're going to have here. So if I was to just put the onboarding view here, and I also like to try not to pass through stuff with the views, unless it's like something that's local, like these are, where you're like passing stuff in and you're using it in a local file. Try to avoid that. This is only going to present when there is a value in the star sign. So this isn't going to work. Yeah, so what we need to do is go with the on appear approach. If star sign, oh, well, let's just go up here and we'll just go show onboarding. We'll set that to false. And then here we go show onboarding equals star sign equals nil. Right, so if the star sign is empty, we show onboarding. And then we go show onboarding. And this should be, we should change, this needs to be different. Is presented, that's the one we want, right? Yeah. And we can delete this here. And I hate these, so let's clean that up. And look at that, we've got it launching on the preview already. So let's go back. So we select these, doesn't work. We jump back to March, we go 21st, we go continue, and our screen drops away. Ignore this, obviously something wrong with the keyboard there. That's fine. And then in subsequent launches of the app, we will not see the onboarding. I guess in future versions of the app, all we want to do is have maybe like a settings button where you can change that. So that'd be kind of cool. But now that we've got the user's date of birth, and we know that they're Aries, right? So what we can do is we can pass this through on our view model. So let's do that. How do we get it out of, oh, we just use the regular user default thing, I think. Because we haven't got a view, I don't think we can use the wrapper. Can we use the wrapper? I don't think we can. No, of course not. Why would you be able to? Okay. So we'll pull that out of here. String for key, and this will be star sign. Again, we want to pass through. I finally get to watch the stream now. Oh, excellent. So we grab this, which is the same. This is the exact same key that we had for the onboarding view. This is the same one. So app storage is the same as the user defaults. I wonder if we'll get like, still it's a wrapper there. Or can we use this as something? Because I know it's a property store. Creates a property that can save and restore an optional integer, transform it into a... Okay, hang on a second. Creates a property that can read and write to a string user default, transforming that to raw representable data type. Oh, what do we do here? Because I reckon if we can use, instead of this, use defaults, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm like, oh, what can we use? I'll look it up later. So we've got our star sign, and what we can do is pass through this into our prompt. So I'm going to get a better prompt. And we will go, so there's the sign there with the raw value. We don't need to pass through raw value anymore because we've already got it as a string. So what we'll do is, if I am star sign, what we'll do is we'll mess around and add. Oh yeah, because this could be an optional. Let's just force unwrap it because you can't get past the onboarding without having done that. Yeah, later on we'll add some prompts and say it needs to be less than 100 characters or something. So this is pretty much the same as what we did last time, right? And then, so what I want to do is remove the bar across the bottom for now. This star sign picker view. So I want to get rid of this. Let's copy that out because we're going to use that. Oh yeah, when this changes. So select it. We only get on appear once, and we only get on appear once, right? And we can't call this code until we have the star sign back from the onboarding. Technically, like what we could do is we could add a closure here. So on onboarding view, we can run some code. You know, when someone's hit the continue. I think the other thing we can do is maybe listen to changes on star sign. The problem with that is it could introduce a bug later when we start allowing users to change the star sign, and then they could get more horoscopes for that day just by flipping back and forth between different star signs. But maybe that's okay. Maybe what we can do is limit them and say, hey, you can't change it. You can change it once a week. Or like if they made a mistake, you can change it. I don't know. We'll change your star sign once a day. But then if we're selling the app, then people will be able to cheat it. Like if we're charging like a subscription, they'll be able to get one for themselves, one for their friend by just switching between the two. Well, this is a tricky one because you want it so that they can make those edits. But maybe if you do a change and the star sign already existed, we do a check. If we make a change and the star sign already exists, we don't pull the new information. We'll just say you've already gotten your horoscope for today. You have to wait for tomorrow for the new one to come through. I mean, that would be really annoying if you accidentally picked the wrong one, right? I'm gonna paste this here for a sec because I just came up with another idea. Back onto the onboarding view. So what we want to do is also throw in and then under here we got to put in another text, and we want to do the it's gonna work. Wait, why doesn't that work? Oh, hold up. That's it. Okay, cool. So down the bottom we got like your star sign is Aries. So let's make this large title. Let's put another spacer here so it's in the middle. And let's go uppercase. Did we get... What's going on? How do we make this... It's a string. Come on, give me... What am I doing wrong here? I guess we could do it that way. That's annoying. Fair enough. This one will be foreground color. Oh, can we do secondary style? Yeah, that's okay. I think what I also want to do is add, like, let's just go a little bit more extra on this and just add like a style. We want to do, yeah, foreground style, and we want to add, what is it called? Thin material? No, we want to go thick material, right? Ah, that looks like crap. I was hoping it would be brighter. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. That's fine. I was hoping I can get some like vibrancy to it and have it sort of like translucent a little bit, but that's fine. Let's just go with this. I think the large title. Let's try something else here. Let's go. We got extra large. Oh, extra large. Is that does nothing. Accessibility. I'm not 100% sure what this does. So I know it probably look terrible on other devices. Who knows? So when we make a switch between them, so I select this, your star sign is, let's hide this as well. Oh, no. What we got? Maybe add ultra thin material capsule behind it. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, let's play around with it. Let's do that. Oh, hold up. We got to go back and pick our. Yeah, I gotcha. No. Just go without. I think it would probably work better if we had the colors sort of inverted a bit. I'm still not set on like this blue and then this sort of dark purple, but that'll come later. So your star sign is Aries. I think instead of, yeah. So let's just go if star sign. Let's do this way. We'll clean this up a little. And I think the text will still be pushed down to the bottom. That's good. And then we've got, we can remove this and this because we know it's no longer excellent. And also what I want to do, I think I have to go back. Cool. So on change of this, we go star sign. We want to go with animation. All right. And if I go back to March, and the animation, can we do? I don't know if this will work with the transition, so let's just go slide, see what happens here. Might be doing this wrong. Yeah, okay. We probably need to go back to... Oh, you know what? Screw it, doesn't matter. I just want to keep moving. We'll worry about animations and fancy stuff later. So this is fine. Your star sign is Aries. I think the secondary is just not good here. So let's just keep it as... I mean... Looks a bit weird, hey? I'm gonna go with that. At least at this point, you can just double check what you've selected. It tells you what it is. Like before, it wasn't even telling you what it was, right? So now we've got that. We go continue. This will disappear. We have to go back to pick a view to see that in effect. Oh, we can't because it's saved. It's saved that information in. Okay. Let's get this going again. I'll work out the logistics of how, like when this changes, what we do when the star sign changes, moving forward. But right now, let's just go with on change of star sign. Actually, it's kind of cool because we got old value, new value, right? Can old value be nil? because we can do this check in here. We can say if the old value is the same as the new value, we're not going to do anything. If they're different, we can not do anything again. Like if it's going from nil to having something, we can go, oh, they've just set up the app. Let's redo the star sign. Let's hit up GPT and get the new horoscope, right? But if this was a value, if this was not nil, it was something else, we do not do it. We wait until the next day before we do an update. But let's just go with this. Can I find sign? Oh, new value. Must be unwrapped. Oh, you can't do nil? Surely. I know it's not finished, but just some feedback. As if I was a user looking at this view, I would know what date I am actually supposed to be picking. Excellent. That's good feedback. Let's fix that too. Yeah, so the original text that I had at the top was tell us about yourself, and then we're going to have a whole bunch of extra information in there, like birth charts and things. But because it's just this, it's like, when were you born? Yeah, is that okay? That's probably good enough for now. We can also collapse this, right? This view, and then have, you know, a different date picker or other items here that they can fill out. I think, yeah, you go March 21st. Yeah, cool. I think this is better. Yeah, thanks for that. Okay, so now I need to do something with this. We need to detect when that changes, but we can't pass nil. It's an equatable, it's not an optional equatable. I don't want to pass anything through to this onboarding view. And onAppear is only called the first time this loads, so it won't get called when the screen that's covering it is dismissed either. At least that in other versions of SwiftUI it didn't do that. I wonder if that's changed now. But so what can we do here? How can we know when this has been changed? I'm gonna have to do it. And we also need to change the name of this too, because it's no longer a picker. I'm going to build another screen for that later, like the designs that we saw, which will be, I think, I'm going to try and get onto it tonight. Hang on, how long have I been streaming for? I've got an hour. So if I stay on for another hour, yeah, I reckon we'll get to it. I think we'll get to it. The other design stuff. I want to do the parallax thing. I want to try and do a little bit of that tonight. That'll be a separate screen. We'll fiddle around with a separate screen with the previews, and then we'll try and integrate it somehow into these other ones in a future stream. So we've got, yeah. So okay, confusing myself here. Let's get rid of this. I'll keep this here actually because I want to have a little reference to this, so I know I can copy and paste that in. So on the onboarding view, we're going to have to create this is a wait, what am I doing? Let did finish picking. Oh man, I just completely blanked then on how to write a closure. Okay, here we go. I just did a video of them not long ago. Okay. Now this is void. Wait. Oh, star sign. What am I doing? Wait, I have so done this wrong. It has been a very long day. I stream at the end of the day, and after I've like sat down doing coding the whole time, it's just... Yeah, they can't have argument labels. That is correct. Like, why would they? Yeah, this is right. Excellent. This thing here, I think we can just do this. Oh, star sign in, right? Cool, so that's the preview set up. Where's the other onboarding view? Star sign pick a view. Ah, yeah, yep. Star sign in. So when this comes through, and then we can still do the same comparison, right? So what we can do here is, if this is nil, right? Or I don't know, maybe this will get updated at the same time that it gets saved, when it gets saved in the other view. We'll have to check that out. It might... We may, I think in future, when we create a settings screen that allows you to change what your star sign is, it'll be on a completely different screen. It won't be this onboarding one. It'll be like an actual profile view with everything that you are. You tap on your star sign, brings up a dialogue, you change it. It won't be the onboarding screen. And at that point, it'll be different code, and then we can do the check and make sure we don't update the horoscope for that day. We can set a flag somewhere anyway, using the keychain. Anyway, going off topic here. So now that we've got the star sign that's come back through, what we can do is go task, await model get horoscope for star sign. Okay, so actually we delete this code here. We do a little refresh. Okay. That's right. So we've got our preview. What we should really do is have a function down here, which is get horoscope. And then we go task, and then we say get horoscope. If let. All right, and then I think on appear this should run. Oh, that's weird. As an AI, unable to provide real-time horoscope information. You can find out your horoscope by checking. Okay. We need to make changes here. What did we have before? Please generate my horoscope for today. I think if we ask it to generate it, it might actually work better. Let's just have a look. It didn't give me, oh, because I'm stripping stuff out too. So we got different paragraphs and stuff. We don't want that. We don't want that. So we want to change this again. Pretend you are a Fortune teller. No question mark. Please generate my horoscope for today. Let's go again. Okay, as the stars align, Aries today invites you to embrace the fiery energy that is so innate within you. Remember your ruling planet. Challenges that lie in your path today are just stepping stones. Cool. I don't think it will be able to fetch a horoscope for an exact date. No, of course. I think that was with the other prompt that I had. It was like, give me a daily horoscope, not for today, right? Isn't that what I said? I think in the last one, what it was in the previous version. So for today is what's probably like tripping it up, right? So if I go, give me a date of a daily horoscope. So, I think it gets past the yeah. You might have to remove the today. Yeah, it seems to have gotten past it this time, but you're absolutely right. I think that's what it's getting hung up on. That's why I put in pretend you are a fortune teller. I know that the stream's a little bit delayed too, so I might be reacting just a few minutes after. I think last time I did this, the stream was really, really delayed. It was like 5 minutes behind. I don't know if it's my internet or what. It's saying I've got excellent connection, but we'll see. Where was I? Yeah, this is okay. This works fine. I think what would be really, really cool is if it can return it in Markdown. I don't know if GPT can do that. Can it do Markdown? Because that would be awesome if we could pass that through and it could like stylize it in some way. I'll let it go through with whatever it decides to come up with, but like this block of text is just, it's not great. You know, if we had like bolded text and stuff in there. Oh, that's what I want to say. I know you've only just come in sort of like a couple of minutes ago, or probably half an hour ago now, but what I mentioned earlier with this onboarding view was that what I wanted to do was have a selection here. It was like, how do you want the horoscope to be presented? Because it would be really cool if we had like 3 options. One was like calm and reassuring or something. The other one might be like aggressive. So you could be like, well, let's try that real quick. Okay. So what I mean is with an aggressive tone, with a passive aggressive tone. Okay. So if we go back to, let's have a look. What do we get here? Aries, today it seems that the stars have aligned for you in a special way, as they should for a fire sign such as yourself, who is always, and I mean always, the center of attention. Right? Oh, I love this. Okay. Ooh, passive-aggressive horoscopes. This is a big seller. This is going to work well. No one steal my idea. A quick Google later. I think it does have markdown capabilities from what I read. You might have to confirm this, but it would be cool if it does. Okay. Will they get translated directly? I might have to do... Because I know markdown only works with... what is it? What is it? Localized string key, right? Doesn't work with a direct string in there or something. Because I remember I had lots of trouble with markdown. Oh, we're going to get another one. Okay, let's wait for this. Oh, Aries, once again, you've rushed into the start of the day with the subtlety of a bull in a china shop. Grab a coffee, take a seat, and make a plan for once in your life. It won't kill you, I promise. Oh, I love this. I think I'm onto a winner here. Like I said, don't steal my freaking idea. I'm going to come after you. I'm legit going to sell this once it's finished and I get all the artwork and stuff going. Okay, let's just test the markdown thing real quick. And then I'm going to go and try and design the parallax kind of screen. We'll see. Pretend you're a fortune teller. Please generate my horoscope for today with a passive-aggressive tone. Using markdown. Let's go with it. Yeah, passive-aggressive response is amazing. Yes, it's so good. Okay, it's coming in. So we've only got this one line here because I'm trimming off anything after a new line. And that's going to be problematic if it continues doing this kind of thing. The reason why I'm trimming off the new line is so that we don't get cut off text. So I might just have to redo this, but it looks like we're not getting the markdown coming through, right? So that's not working. How do we do markdown? Oh, and because we ask for markdown, it's going to give us headings and dot points and things like that. Like because we asked for markdown, so we can't break it up on new lines. So first off thing is to what we got. This is the stop. So we get it. Yeah, we told it to stop generating after a certain amount. Let's pass through empty for now. I think we can pass through an empty array. And in the prompt, couldn't you say the end paragraph with a period to avoid cut off text? Or limit the response. Yeah, look, I tried limiting the response. So if I set the number of tokens to something like 200, it still cuts itself off. Like it doesn't go, oh, I've only got 200 tokens to say this amount of text. Like you have to put it in the prompt. I'll put it in the prompt and I'll say, give it to me within 100 words or less. And it doesn't. It still gives me like 500. It does not listen to me. Which is annoying. Like it'd be nice if it was smart enough to look at the tokens count and go, okay, I need to do it within this number of tokens, not just keep going and then cut off. I don't know. I hope it gets better. There's got to be a way to do it because other people have made this work. I had the same problem with the crossword app as well, and I had to like the prompt really specific. Give me 10 answers for what this could be. Whereas when it's a horoscope, it could be multiple paragraphs, right? I found if you set a limit in the prompt, it seems to work. Include give me an exact 100 words, for example. Okay, you have to say exact. I feel like there's a limiting it a bit though, right? Like it might come out with other like you're limiting, you're saying you want it to be 100, but I guess it never is exactly 100 anyway, even if you say exact. I remove the stops anyway, but what I need to do is convert this to can we change? So when the response comes back, we got choices first, message content. Message content. If we change this to, will that convert for us, or is it going to be like, no, sorry, can't do that? Oh, hold up. Current horoscope text. Wait, what did I do that for? This is the one. Is this okay? Cannot convert string to expected content prompt. Let's just see if this works. It might not do a proper decode, encode. That doesn't, yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't conform to encodable. I should check that. That's very true. Point other way, you'll be limited to response, I guess. Yeah. Like I want to limit it to something, right? But I want it to be able to go 90 words, 80 words, 100 words, like wherever it feels natural to end the paragraph for the AI. I don't want the AI to be like, and it's difficult because it only really looks one word ahead when it's typing this stuff out, right? So there's no way it could be exactly 100. It would need to type it out and then go over it and edit and then go over and edit. I think that's where the limitations are with GPT actually. It can't really edit its own content before it returns it to you. Because it's predictive text, right? It's one word at a time. So you could never really, like it could just waffle on for ages. Maybe if I say in about 100 words, in about 80 words, in about 50 words or something, and then it'll just, once it gets to 50, it can hopefully smart enough to go, okay, let's wrap this up. Okay. I'm just going to do a little Google search for using Markdown. SwiftUI from string, from just a regular string, right? Okay. So we got, let's just open up this. So we've got SwiftUI's built-in support for Markdown, including bold tag links. Yeah, so this all works because this isn't actually string as such, right? It's not the string type, it's the localizable string type, I think. Localizable string key. Yeah, localized string key. These can be localized. This means you want to create Markdown text from a property or variable. You should mark it explicitly as being localized string key. So that's what I thought. I think what we can get, let's see if we can just go with, if we come back to this, and then in here we change this to, like that should just do it. Just gonna give me a, all right, we're not doing text editor anymore, are we? We're just going to do regular text. We can actually do the wrapping here. This will work better. And we just go remove that. We bring back chat. Carrot horoscope. Yeah, exactly. Don't tell anyone. And what have I done? This is my default stuff that comes out from the preview. We're not getting... Why is it not doing the call anymore? Network call. Have I got no internet? Something's happening. I haven't had the internet drop out on a stream yet, but oh man, that scares me. Okay. I think we're all good, but what have I done wrong here? Because all I've done is I'm pulling out this text. When this changes, because we're using observable here, so this is a published property now. So when this updates, this should be getting updated too. It should be redoing this view, recreating the view. The reason why I had the text view stuff before, the text editor, was so that you could like select it and copy it. But we can add that functionality to this anyway, I think. So, but what's going on? Why isn't this working? Huh? Okay, same issue. Might help if I check the console, hey. Okay, here we go. We're getting 400 back, people. So what have we done? I think it might be the no value associated with key coding keys. Choices value in value nil. Choices underlined. Yeah, okay, so I've messed something up over here. So we go back down to choice. I don't know if this is correct though. Key not found. Oh, because we're getting a 400. Obviously, there's some sort of error coming back. I think it's because of this stop thing. So let's just pass through nothing and see what happens. Ooh, you get a 200, but nothing. It stops at the very first. Okay. Okay, so let's do something. I don't know. We'll stop at that, so it doesn't stop. I don't think two ampersands next to each other are going to cause much of an issue. And we've got 500 tokens this is generating, so this is going to be a lot of text. And it's going to be fun to read because it's passive aggressive. Wait for it. It takes a while when you're doing 500 tokens. And it's cut off because we don't have to scroll now. Okay, that's okay. Well, Aries, it's yet another bright and shiny day for you. Given your fiery nature, a little heat never seems to burn you. In fact, you thrive in it. At work, Mars seems to encourage you into believing you know everything. But guess what? You're not entirely right. This is great. It's recommended that you try to actually listen to others' ideas today, even if it's precisely your least favorite thing to do. It could be refreshing to hear different perspectives, which I hope you find is actually possible. Jupiter is in transition towards your communications sector, and it couldn't have come at a better time for someone like you, who somehow tends to be a tad impatient or aggressive. The cosmos invites you to be more receptive to dialogue and not dominate every conversation. Oh, I really, really like this. This is what, like, people will wake up in the morning and be like, I've got to check my horoscope today. I've got to know what crap it's saying about me. This is so good. In your personal life, if you can take a break from being the center of attention or for a second, even, or if that's even achievable, Venus recommends an approach of love and patience. It might not be your style usually, but give it a try. It won't hurt, I promise. It won't hurt, I promise. That was in the other previous prompt, the previous response. Your financial situation, like that of many others, is not exactly crystal clear, but hey, okay. You could limit to 280 characters so people could share their horoscopes as tweets. You know, that's a good idea, but also that's just going to be a string of text that you'd be sharing. Also, notice that there's no markdown in this. Anyway, what I was getting at before was that I think maybe a screenshot might be nicer to tweet out. Like we can do this kind of like colored, like a nice colored background. Each star sign might get like a nice wallpaper, like the symbol for them in the background, like a wallpaper pattern. I'm thinking that'd be kind of cool. Maybe you can tweet out just the image of the text, and then we put a watermark on it, right? That's like from the passive aggressive horoscope app. Okay, so let's pass through. Please. I'll be kind. Please limit it. $280 characters. Try to limit it to 280 characters. Let's go. Oh, see, no markdown. Oh, because I did I undo it all? No, it's still there. We got text, localized string key. Okay, Aries, millions can thrive when they step out of their comfort zone, but sure, stay in yours. You're welcome to keep ignoring that opportunity knocking on your door. Ignore it. After all, it may only be the chance of a lifetime. Your lucky color today is peach. Okay. Okay. Oh, I love that. I'm having too much fun with this. I wanted to get to the design stuff, but we're like running out of time. Let me just try and fix this markdown. We got to convert SwiftUI markdown. Does anyone know? I'm in another tab at the moment. Leave your answers in the chat, like how to convert like a string to something that can be interpreted by text as markdown. Let's try this one. Oh, everyone's saying the same thing. What about attributed string? Okay, using Markdown and SwiftUI, yeah, same copy pasted code from Apple's documentation. Is it like just everyone just like grab Apple's docs, copy and paste into their blog, and then be like, yep, let's get views and ad clicks. Like, give me something a little extra. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So we got to do like we use a attributed string. You need to do a do catch. Okay. Let's not do that. Let's just optionally unwrap it. Yeah, let's do it optionally. So if we go attributed string, contents of, nope. Static string, ooh, no, localized string. What do we got here? String. Markdown. Oh, that's the one we want. Oh, it's data. What? No, come on. Oh, we can pass through string. Okay. Let's remove this. We pass through text. And then we just go try. Try attribute string markdown text. And if that fails, we just pass through the text, yeah? Does that work? What have I got wrong here? Parentheses. Cannot convert value of type string to expected argument type attributed string. Ooh, come on. All right, just crash then. I do not care at this point. Consecutive, yep. We got this. Let's do a refresh. Let's see what we get. Italics. Okay. Well, Aries, another surprise. Your impulsive nature may not work in your favor. Keep an eye on your finances, but I'm sure you would anyway. Don't ride the wave of self-righteousness in conversations, but hey, who am I to tell you to practice patience, right? Okay, cool. I'll do one more and see if we get in the italics still. If we are, I'm just going to move on. Sure. Okay, so the sure isn't italicized, but everything else is. I feel like we're doing something wrong here. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I think it's good enough, and I think the italics actually make it a little bit better. But we're missing like a space here. And the sure is not good because that's like replying to the prompt that we gave it. Anyway, let's move on. I think this is pretty good. Let's clear out the preview console there. We'll just leave this design as is. Like, it's not great. I guess what I could do is just throw in a spacer. Oh, now we've got some other markdown. Dear Aries, oh, let's celebrate. Today you might excel in patience. You'll possibly avoid charging headfirst into conflict, and you may discover the magic. Something, there's a hashtag. Why is there a hashtag? Aries horoscope. Okay. What we could do also is prompt, could you create a tweet? Like, so going by your tweet thing, we can make a tweet as a prompt, and then that might also like it'll give us hashtags and stuff too. Or even Instagram posts, right? This is stuff that people will post on Instagram more than Twitter probably. My dog's like got hiccups or something, if you can hear that noise. So the other thing I've noticed with the Swift Markdown is that it doesn't do bold very well. Like the bold isn't quite heavy enough. I've found. I think I hope they changed that. It might be just also because I'm using like a headline font here, and you know it's already semi bold. Anyway, let's keep moving. So I'm kind of like, I'm happy enough with this. Let's go for creating a new screen with our parallax stuff. So, which is going to be the actual star sign picker view. This is your horoscope. So let's actually rename this, right? So let's rename to horoscope view. That might be a weekly one. We might like jazz it up a bit and have a different style to it. So we'll just call this daily for now. We can change it another time. So that's it. We've done that. Now we can create a new group, and we call this the... Okay, so the star signs... This might be an informational screen, actually, rather than showing your horoscopes, okay? So star sign info, right? So this is a new folder, and this will be a new section of the app, so you can read about others and what they are. Like if you fall between certain dates, this will be the information screen. It might not make it in the final app or whatever, but this is just so that we can work on that parallax scrolling. Okay, so this will be the star sign info view. Import SwiftUI, and then we go struct and we go star sign, and we get this. We start typing view and we get completion for that. Excellent. So VStack up front. Let's do the hashtag previews. Cool. Now we've got our preview. Oh, it'll be black screen because we're in dark mode. And then for this, I think the way to make this work page never. We don't want to show the dots. I think that's what it is. Index display. We don't want to show that. We want to go never. Because we'll create our own later, right? You remember early on I was like, let's create a dial where you can scroll the wheel and then the background change. I would love that because I feel like you could scroll the wheel really quickly and then the background can kind of like glide into place or move to the correct. The kind of design I'm going for is like in Skyrim where you look at the stars. Sort of like that. We saw it in the last... I don't have it open at the moment. I'm not going to go look for it, but I have it in my head what kind of idea we're going for here. But I think what we're going to end up doing is just doing a paging thing for now. So what we're going to need to start with is maybe like 2 of these things, with 2 of these screens. So we've got tab view, which is... We need another screen type. And how, yeah, okay. So the background, we're gonna have to set a background of the tab view. And then we're gonna need the screen type that we can duplicate and put in here, like 12 of them, right? So that'll be this here. So what we need to create is like a star sign info. We already did star sign info view. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Star signs? What about star signs view? No, we're gonna just go star sign view. Why is it star sign view model? Doesn't matter. Body. This will be the VStack in here. And then we'll pass through, for now we're just going to pass through the title, right? So we'll just, actually, we'll go whatever star sign it is. Actually, I think we can create all of them at once because we've got that enum. So we'll just go I feel like it's one word, star sign, and then we go star sign.raw value. Okay. So we've got our text, and that will show up in the middle of the screen. Expected type is that's yeah, go away error. Okay, so then up here we need to go for each star sign, all cases, star sign in, and then we need to go. Oh gosh, star sign view. Star sign. Is there a way to shorten this? Does anyone know? This for each, and then like put all this on one line somehow. You know how with like a closure you can just pass, like you can just pass through the function name, and if it's got all these parameters, providing that the thing you're calling up here takes all those same parameters, you just pass through the name. Does anyone know what I'm talking about with that? Yeah. I'm wondering if you can do the same here, because all we're doing is like we're passing this directly through. There should be a way to like shorten this, like pop it somewhere like this. Like how neat would that be? Or like and Swift just knows, right? I could create that, I guess, somehow. Anyway, off topic. So we got these, and we can swap between them. That's kind of what we're going for. This will be a... I think we still need to go with tab. Do we still need to do a tab item? Oh no, this is only if you have like the buttons, right? I think this works fine. We got the swipey thing working. Okay, so for each of these we need a background. So I think what we can do here is like, can we add a background for starters? Okay, we can. So I'm gonna go back and grab the the gradient. We'll just grab this whole background thing here, and we'll throw that in there. Cool. Now that background's going to be static. But when we swipe, we need to intercept these. So I want three levels, okay? So what I want to do is have the color of the background, or maybe a deep star kind of image here, but it'll be static. It won't move, or if it does, we can move it very slightly. But I'm thinking it will just be static. Then there's a middle layer that moves slowly. It will be an image that fills up maybe like the height of the screen and just a little bit out, because I just want it to move just a little bit. Tiny bit of parallax. And then this one with the text on it will have like the actual the constellation. That's it, the constellation up here. So in order for that to work, because we got the star sign passed through, on the enum here, we can go, Oh, I've already got that. Constellation, right? So constellation, passing through a string. This will be an image at some point. Or the string will be like the name of the image. Actually, this will make it a lot easier because I think I thought about this last time. We go to assets. What we'll do is we'll create a folder with all the constellations in it, and we'll just name them what these are. And then they just pull back and be the constellation. Why am I doing it this way rather than just pulling like the string value directly, like raw value directly? I think it's better this way because maybe I can make changes to this later. We will see. Like I might not have a string there anymore. I think it just makes more sense, especially if I decide to name them something different in the asset color log. Who knows? I feel like this will be a bit cleaner. No, not cleaner, explicit. So we should probably get some images for the constellations, even if we just reuse the same one for all of them to start with. But the main thing is creating an image that scrolls slowly. So that's the main challenge. So we've got the background, which is static, which is already done, and we've got these the text, which is already done. Like it behaves how we want it to behave, right? So I think, yeah, the tricky bit is going to be that middle layer. And how do we do the middle layer? And I'm wondering if, because we've got this background here, we can, like, it'd be nice if we could understand like what the offset is for the tab view, what the selected tab view is, and then maybe we can animate slowly. We can get the ID maybe, and we can push a background image. We can offset it based on Can we get offset of a view in a tab view? What are different ways we can do this? Thinking here, I'm thinking. Gosh, it's been such a long time since I've done any complicated SwiftUI stuff. Like I built a physics thing. Did anyone see that? It was like a bouncy rope. It was like a rope that would hang from the top of the screen, and you could click around and it would add a new piece and be elastic and bounce around and stuff, all done in SwiftUI. But that was using paths and stuff, right? I guess what we could start with is like a circle. See, that gets in the way, right? That's treated as another item. So if we do the whole VStack approach, put a circle here, drop this in, remove this, put that as the background. We've got the VStack. We change this to a ZStack. We won't see it. Duh. Fill can be red. So we can see it there. So now we've got different levels. Okay, so we got our circle. We got the tab view sitting on top of that. And if we can work out some kind of offset, right? Based on, and I want it to move with the swipe. I don't want it to like, because when the tab view updates which one it's looking at, it's instant. It's not like a gradual change. So I want it to animate. So like if you do this, if you wiggle this, the circle will move like a little bit. The other thing I could do is just set it up with the accelerometer, and then when you wiggle the phone, the mid layer wobbles back and forth when you wiggle the phone. I mean, that's not quite what we're after though, is it? And I think if I can get this nailed, like this one here behaving how it should, we can add many. We can add heaps of layers and have them move at all different speeds. I'm trying to use the tab view or a scroll view or just standard SwiftUI items rather than drawing shapes. Because I know it can be done with just drawing shapes. Like we could just have... Like I could essentially create my own scroll view using gestures and just moving offsets of text views, right? I could do that. But I want to try and use the SwiftUI components. Let's try Google SwiftUI get tab view offset. You can get the offset in, so someone's saying you can get the offset in UIKit with the scroll view to scroll, yes. Which changes every little bit that you move it. So that would be really, really nice if we could get like an update for that value as that changes. Tracks offset of any view as well as views of tab view. You can use overlay plus geometry reader. Add an offset proxy as an overlay. Oh, preference keys. Yeah, okay. That's right. Okay, so we can do this as an overlay to a view that offset you are interested in. So you can subscribe to listen to changes on preference change, offset key. So if we go, we copy this code. Always copy code directly from Stack Overflow and don't ever inspect it. Trust me on that. So this is our, we got a, yeah, well that compiles, that's good. And then we've got overlay offset proxy. So it's saying we can throw that in here like this. And then up here, we can just grab the offset. Oh, every time I hit enter, what is it? I always accidentally hit that key combo and remove the canvas. So can we do a print set offset? I'm loving the ability to print the output and previews. It's so good. Oh, check this out. Okay, so we can do this. Why is that going weird? Okay, so each view is going to have an offset of its own, right? So we're going to go 185, 177. I wonder if this is because of the size of the text, 180. So they're all kind of like the same. And when they go off screen, they go into the negatives and then like the new one sort of takes over. So I don't know if we can use the value on this to change the background. Yes, we can. We can do something clever here. We could have like the middle layer could be like gas clouds, right? And they fade in and out slower than what you're swiping. And that way the offset value. Let's just pass this directly to the offset on the circle and see what we get. Oops, that's not gonna work. We need, is it CG size? Yeah, so. No, I wanna do X, Y. So we got offset and Y will just be 0. Okay, so now the circle moves with that view and it pops over. See what I'm saying? Like if we had a gas cloud, we could have it like here when the offset is the maximum, or what is it? 171 or whatever. We have it opacity set to like 0. And then as we move, it fades in. We'd have to do it differently, wouldn't we? We want it, because this needs to be centered when it's in this, not off to the side. But we'd have like a swirl effect or something as you're swiping through them. That's kind of cool. So it's moving with the text. Give me a second. Okay. Oh, my dog's about to start barking. Okay, we gotta get this solved. And it's a little bit strange how they're all different, and I do think it's got to do with the width of the text. So let's say I set, so the star sign view down here, let's say we set this to frame, we go max width, we go infinity, right? Lucky guess. So we've got negative, wait. Oh, it disappears. It jumps back across. Yeah, okay. Because it's always going to jump to the negative, positive, negative. Why is it doing that? Jumping up and down. 392, 392. So they're all the same now anyway. All the same size. So that's a value that I can actually work with at least. I don't want to hard code it, but we will just for testing something, right? So if we go plus 390, for example, and we do a little, and it jumps back across. We want this centered. So this is like the gas cloud idea. But we need, when it gets, we need another one to phase in on the other side. Ooh, okay. It's getting complex. I don't think I want to do it this way. I think I still want to try and keep this separate. To do this, okay, so we got a value from what, 0 to 390, right? To minus 390, minus 390 to 390. So we got a range of like 800 we're working in, negative 400 to minus 400 to positive 400. We can probably try and normalize that somehow. And then change its position based on which tab we are on. And then we can get it moving slower. Like if we say each tab adds 100 or something. Need to get a tag or something on these so I know which position that they're at. Oh, this is tricky. I've got an idea in my head of how I want to do it, how I think it'll work, but I'm just going through and trying to work out if there's alternatives that are going to be easier than that one. So a lot of the time when I'm trying to solve problems, I'll like brute force the answer, and that's the one I've got in my mind now, is a brute force answer. It's going to be messy, and it might not even work. And then I come back and try and like, and refine it a bit. I'm hoping I can come up with a refined version first. Because we want the circle to move a little bit at a time, right? and it keeps getting reset because these values are like negative 400, minus 400 to 400, and we need to, they need to be from like, I'm thinking, so let's say Aries, the first one is a value of 0. We multiply the offset by, I don't know, 100 or whatever the width of the screen is, and then when we scroll to the next one, we do the same thing, because it seems like this changeover when that pops, I'm hoping that the time when that pops, it's the same time of when the index updates. And so when the index updates, we can add a value or subtract a value based on the position, based on the index itself. So we multiply the index by something, and that'll get us a larger range than just minus 400 to 400. I might be doing this wrong, but let's see. How do I get the index? Let's just quickly. Oh. We have to use. If this doesn't work, it's a bunch of work that's like wasted, right? If it doesn't work, it's going to be a crappy end to the stream, isn't it? Let's see how we go. So what we need to do to make this work is add like a tag, but I don't have a value for the tag, and it needs to be a number because I need to make like a multiplication of it. So my idea is stupid, but because we got this for each, we don't actually have like the ability to. So if I go with, I mean, the ID could be, we could use the ID as an integer, because we've already got raw value. There's no point passing that back. So if I go switch self 1 2, is this going to return for me automatically? It might have been actually easier to make this an integer and then have it give me the numbers automatically, and then I just have a display value or something where I return the strings. I guess I got to type out the strings anyway. This will be fine. What have I got here? What is this? Okay, let's go back. So the tag will be $.id. And then this will update. Let's just double check. So if we print the offset, we need to print the selected item. Let's just do this real quick and see what we get. 1 1 1 1 1 1. Oh, because we haven't got selection. Whoops, selection, and this will be the selected item. And if we go here, 2 3 4, and it won't. See, there's like a change over there. That's what I'm worried about, because excuse me. Notice that the red circle isn't moving until it comes to a rest. So that changeover is in the middle. So this might not even work, this idea that I've got. This isn't going to work. I think I might have it. I think I might have it. Axis. Oh, come on. Axis. Horizontal. Horizontal. So I want to tell you another story too. On another project that I was working on, I tried getting missed the majority of the stream, and this part, what are you trying to do currently? You could do all cases first index of self plus one, right? Yeah, you totally could. No, you're absolutely right. Okay, let's do that real quick. Okay, but we're not getting distracted. Let's do that real quick. So I'll show everyone what you're talking about. Yeah, that's clever. That's great. It's so hard to come up with like stuff like that when you're like trying to freaking live code. Has anyone ever done like live coding during an interview for a job? You know how many mistakes that you make, and then you get home like, oh, I should have done this, should have done that, and then you get the job offer anyway. At least I do. Just kidding. So if we go all cases, no, it's all cases. Star sign, all cases, and you're doing first index of self. Yeah, we could do +1, or we could do 0. Like we could start with 0, but because the ID could start at 0. We got an optional here, so we've got. Oh yeah, because this could be empty, but we don't want to do that. So, oh, you even put the little exclamation in there. Okay. Yeah, this will be the correct way to do it. So look how much shorter this code is. Yeah, that works well. Yeah, that's good. That's a good way of doing it. Let's just keep that there. It is mutated though. That's probably fine. Okay, so what I'm doing now, I'm changing this up. I'm gonna go for a scroll view. I'm going to put H stack in here. This preference change thing, this is going to go on the H stack. Okay. Bear with me here. These are all bunched up. These are wrong. We need to set the width of these now to the width of this screen. Don't do this. Wait, bounds? What have I got going on here? Yeah, don't do this. We'll use a geometry reader, I think, instead of this. I think that might be the way to go. But we're going with this for now. We don't have... I think now the overlay is interrupting. What have we got going on? Why isn't it working? I should be scrolling. Scroll view, horizontal. H stack. Tab view. Let's get rid of that. Oh, because the tab view is sitting on top. Okay, that's it. Okay, so we got something going on. Now you can see that the circle is actually moving with the scroll view. So that's a good sign, right? Because it's not in the scroll view, but it's moving with it. It seems to be okay too. If I jiggle around, the values are fine. Doesn't get all lost. Okay, so this is super promising. What I need to do is use the new thing that we got. So remember, like last week, Monday last week, I was using this new API, and I was thinking, oh, this is gonna be great because we got that scrolly bar at the bottom for all the buttons, and they would lock in. And then I didn't know what to do with it. I was like, this is great, but I found a use for it. So scroll view, target, position. Oh man. Okay, I've got to look this up again. iOS 17, scroll view, target, API. This will be, obviously this is going to be hacking with Swift. Yep. Immediately. That day, I'm sure he put this up on his website. So we've got our H stack here. We need to put this scroll target layout, and then outside that we put on the scroll view itself, we go scroll view target behavior view aligned. And if we move this, it locks in place, right? So we haven't got this. Let's get rid of that stupid false. Okay, so we've got this locking in place. Oh, it's very small touch area. I'll fix that. I'll fix that soon. And then what we need to do is now change the offset. So the offset we're getting here. Okay, so if we go print, oh, I'm so excited. So if we go print, this will be a great finish to the stream. Print, come on, print offset. And where's that value? Where's that these numbers coming from? That's annoying. I'm printing something there. Come on, find it. Oh, hang on. That's probably why. Okay. So we got the negatives. So this number just keeps going up. So we actually have a value that we can use now. Well, it keeps going down. Sorry. And we want it to do this. We want it to go negative because we want it to go from left to right, right to left. So this is correct. We just need to reduce the amount that it does that. So if we say like, oh, instead of division, like we do multiply, so we go 0.1. If we multiply negative and positive, this is going to be, yeah, here we go. Like, check this out. Yeah. Parallax, there you go. Parallax, everybody. Relax. If we go 0.1. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's a bit much. 0.5. So what we can do is we can, I don't want to use hard-coded values, but we can go minus 500 plus, oh, no. 500 plus offset. Right? It'll be 12. Maybe if we do divide by 12. The idea is that it'll be pushed forward just slightly, right? I mean, if we're going by the circle and the circle has edges, what the actual image is going to be is like stars. So there won't be an edge. And it'll probably fill outside this view. So it doesn't really matter where it starts technically. But what I'm trying to do here is be like, okay, it starts off there and then slowly moves across, right? And then ends up sort of the same position on this side. That'll be nice and neat, but it doesn't have to be that way. So what I'm going to do now, how much time we got left? Have I got any other messages? No. Okay, so what we got? Look, I'm just going to keep going. So the next step is we want to create some artwork. Okay, so let me do that. What am I going to use to do that? Okay, give me 1 second. I'm just going to open up an app, and I don't know whether it's going to like show my freaking folders and stuff. So give me a sec. Okay, I'm here. Okay, so we've got Affinity Photo. Let's create a new... Oh, I've got to create a new thing. Okay, 1 sec. I just want to make sure. Okay, what size am I going to do? We go devices. Maybe this will be available on an iPad. So let's go Something large, 12.9. Cool. All right, now what I'll... Okay, so it didn't ask me to save it anyway. I haven't used this software in a long time, so that's why I was paranoid. Okay, so here's a white background. So we want to keep it transparent. We don't want to have a background on it. So let's go with... can we remove... It is a white background, isn't it? Is it? No, it's just blank. It's empty. Okay. So what we want to do is put some stars in there. Let's create a new layer. So I think what I'll do is just chuck down a shape, a rectangle, and can we fill this? This is, we probably shouldn't be using software I have no idea how to use. Oh, I use this for making my thumbnails, but it's been quite a while. So I'll go with a black color, so for this layer, and then I won't export this. This is just so we can see what's going on, right? And if I create, say, yeah, cool. Let's change this to white. Okay, don't mind me. I'm just, well, they look way too uniform. Okay, can I make this larger? Make it softer. Make it. How do I change the width? Here we go. Make them smaller. Everyone's watching me do art. Do you post extra content on your pet? No, I don't. I don't have the time. I wish I did. Yeah, don't. I mean, if you want to support me, you can subscribe on there. I mean, you can put in, you know, $2 or $3 or something like that per month. That'd be pretty cool. But as you can see, there's like not many people yet. I don't know what extra content I would put on there. If you do sign up, I think you get a copy of a book that I wrote in like 2018, which is like simulations in Swift. It's just all playground stuff. There's some cool, fun projects in there if you're new to Swift, but and programming in general. But if you're not and you're quite experienced, you might not find a whole lot of use out of it. I do plan to eventually like try and do this stuff kind of full time, or at least do it a few nights a week, and then during the day I work on my own personal indie apps. I don't want to keep doing like picking up contracts with clients and stuff. I kind of want to try and break out and do my own thing. And then, you know, maybe one day I'll start doing courses and stuff. Also, once I reach, I've got enough subscribers on YouTube. I haven't got enough watch hours yet to get to monetize the channel. And I think when I get there, I'm probably not going to. I might try and like, I don't know if YouTube forces you to have ads or not, but I really want to like keep it as open as possible and not, you know, this is like a hobby, not a job as such. But if there ends up being like lots of interest and I get like 100,000 subs or something like that other guy's got, I could probably turn it into a job. But until then, it's just, yeah. I think this is probably good enough, right? Enough sort of stuff. Let's add some more. Yeah, I think the best way to support me is probably to download my apps. I should put them on the pause screen actually, but you can just look up my name on the App Store and they'll be there. I mean, it looks way too uniform, right? Stars don't look like this, but I'm going with this, and I'm going to hide the background. Off screen, I will export it to disk and then put it in the assets folder. Give me 1 second. Oh, down here. If I did post extra content on Patreon, so maybe more people would sign up, what kind of stuff would you like to see? Because I'm happy to do all the primo stuff for free on YouTube. So it's like, what else can I mean, like photos of my dogs or something? Is that, I don't know, is that worth paying for? It's gonna be PNG. And desktop, this will be Starfield, I'll call it. And then assets, new image set. Let's call this star field. And what I like to do is remove all the, you just go single scale, right? Okay. And we'll drop the star field in there. I'm worried. I see that white background. It worries me. That's not right, is it? Export. Let's see what happens. No, I feel like that's wrong. How do I... Sorry. I've got Cryptic Crossword installed. I'm happily supporting you on Patreon, even if it's just a few pounds per month. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. That'd be awesome. Yeah, that's good. Cryptic, you downloaded that app. Have you used it to try and solve a crossword? I did an update after that stream. Yeah, you know. Oh, if I export as a PDF, oh no. Yeah, I feel like this is incorrect. Yeah, it's just blank white. How do I... Don't export hidden layers? More Googling. Don't export canvas background Affinity Photo. How do we do this? Oh no, internet's not working. Come on. With transparent background, okay. Document, transparent background. Okay, here we go. Document. All right, okay, I got it. All right, let's do an export. Starfield. I could have done this off stream, the artwork, but I think it's important to just add it in here, right? Just so you can see the kind of work that goes into it. So we'll do, okay, yeah, that looks way better. So what we're doing is just evaluating this idea with something other than a circle. Okay, now I probably could have drawn like a star field randomly I just thought of a better idea. I could have drawn it using code and just put random dots everywhere, but I had a little play about with it. I think if I remember, I got the answer wrong, but was close. It's a few months back. Yeah, it's been a little while since I did an update on that one. Is anyone here into D&D or is like a dungeon master or anything like that? Because the other app I'm working on is the one that I'm like obsessed with. I'm trying to get out, but I just keep getting client work. And it's cool. It's called Summoning Stone, and it's just puts all your sound effects and music all together in one place. Star sign info view. Okay, yeah, what are we up to? Star sign info view. This is where we're at. So instead of the circle, we want to go image. We want to get rid of this. We go image, and the name is Starfield. Oh yeah, that's right. The new thing. Where it just picks it straight from the assets. I'm assuming that it's generating like a struct or some sort of file for you with this in its value. So okay, this is kind of cool, right? This is sort of working. Yeah. It's a little bit lame because it looks like it's just the back. We need more layers. That's what we need. So let's add in another one. And let's offset this by nothing. And then instead of 0.5, we'll change this to, let's go 3. See how that looks. And we got a little bit of layers here. They double up because they're, you know, maybe we can flip it. Can we flip? I guess it would be rotate, wouldn't it? If we go rotate and we say, let's just go 90 degrees. Sure. I watched all the streams when you were working on the app. Would be cool if you were to continue streaming when you continue to make changes and develop the app. Okay, so you found that interesting enough. Because there's still a bit of work for me to do on that. I've got like a whole Trello board set up. I've got, let me just quickly check what I've got to do on there. I know it's this, I'm going outside the content of this stream. I try and keep them all to what the, you know, what I'm actually working on. So anyone watching this in the future will be like, it's concise. But it's a stream, like who cares really? Let's what have I got? Just the major stuff I'll talk about. Because it might be worth, yeah, it might be worth streaming it. So what I wanted to do is, so I really like Revenue Cap, but I do want to use Apple's new store screen, the subscription store that they've got in iOS 17. And I have the feeling this app's not going to come out until iOS 17 is released. So I might just bump it up and just, I mean, it's less downloads, but I think I can use a lot of the new tools that Apple's given us. There's stuff around like the sound effects. I want to add a bunch more still. I probably won't add sound effects on stream because that's just boring unless everyone wants to just hang out and chat. That might be fun. We've got... I want to do Siri shortcuts. I think that's important to have in there because it'd be great to be able to trigger different scenes in the app. For anyone who doesn't know, Summoning Stone is like an app that lets you group together music and sound effects and ambient sounds like, you know, like rain and stuff into different scenes for like your tabletop game. So even if you got a board game night that you like to play, this isn't just for D&D. You can create like a whole different list of scenes and then you can just tap play on the scene and it will start music and it will start the ambience at the same time, and you can layer different ambient sounds. So I've got stuff in there that lets you like wood creaking and then like waves, so it can be like you're on a ship, like a pirate ship or something, and then you play whatever music playlist you've got, which is Apple Music integration only at the moment. But the idea is you just hit a single play button, all these things activate at once, and then you've got sound effects like a soundboard where you can tap on sound effects to activate them. And so the idea is, yeah, so I want to be able to like activate those with Siri shortcuts, so you can maybe not even have the app open and you just tap on a shortcut and it will play a scene. The other thing, so that might be interesting to watch on stream, right? Like I have never done the Siri shortcuts before, so we could probably learn that together. The other thing is we've got, what have we got here? A lot of problems with Apple Music API, like it's really difficult. I want to do crossfading with the music, but you can't actually do it. You have to use their music player, and they've got like 3 of them now, 4 different types, and none of them do crossfading. I want to do localization in the app, so we can look at that as well, how I can use that. A friend of mine built a localization app, which will strip all the strings out of your... You provide it with the string file and it will actually go to Google Translate and just do it automatically for you. I know Google Translate isn't accurate, but it's a good way to fill in a lot of the blanks quickly, and then you can go back and review it after. There's other stuff here. What do we got? I think the main one is the shortcuts, and I've got some templates I have to finish. So what I've done is when you first boot up the app, you just get started. It just starts you off as a blank document as such, and then you have to go through and create your scenes. I have almost finished doing templates, and the templates are like you create a new, you just pick, so there's like 3, right? There's like a medieval style one, which is like your D&D Pathfinder. Then there's a modern one, which is like, I guess Vampire Masquerade is kind of modern. And then you've got your sci-fi RPGs, which are like Starfinder. And if you pick one of those templates, it gives you a bunch of pre-made scenes automatically. So that way, like as a new user, it gets you started quicker. You can kind of play around with it and see what's going on. So I've got to finish those off. And there's lots of other like little quality of life improvements I want to build on. That's it. Yeah, I can stream that. Definitely carry on streaming it. It might just be me, but I find iOS development streams videos interesting to how experienced dev approach things and problems. Awesome. Yeah, I might keep doing that. I do want to still finish this app though on stream before I get back to it, I think. So there is a little bit of an issue here, I think, with the size. So using this UI screen may bounds width, it looks like we got a little bit of offset here. So this is something, and I don't know why we can't go all the way back to the start of this scroll view. Yeah, it's very broken. So I think it's got to do with the widths of these. Oh, hang on. It's the Z stack, isn't it? Because these are affecting the Z stack. What if I layout prioritize this to... no. Does that fix things? Yes, it does. Excellent. So it breaks the background gradient though. We're on the main Z stack here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. Sorry. Actually, that was kind of good having the text at the bottom there. If I change this to like a font.large title, and then we go, yeah, with some big text, we can swipe. Yeah, this is kind of working, right? This is sort of exactly what like I was talking about, sort of exactly. Sort of exactly. So if we change this to something a little bit smaller and this one a little bit larger, like a 0.6, we get that parallax effect. And we can just keep adding these, right? I guess this one could be a 0.1. See how this affects things? Kind of lined up. That's annoying. If I change this to 180, so we flip it, so we just get another rotation so it doesn't look so uniform. You know, they're all kind of moving. I'd say that's a success. What does everyone else think? Because that's what we set out to do, right? And then what we can do as well, because we got these offset values, we can plug in any other numbers in here that we want. So like they could come from, for example, maybe we want to pick up sound from the microphone and we can pass in like the volume level into here so that things move based on the sound of the microphone. The accelerometer, we can, like the accelerometer will be the obvious choice, right? So what we can do is we can modify this very slightly. So we do core motion. Someone mentioned core motion last time. Let's do core motion real quick before I go. Accelerometer X, we want the X value data, right? Is there anything we can get from like a environment variable from SwiftUI and core motion? Yes. CM motion we have. Oh, okay, someone's got interesting. Okay, so apparently this one's no good. I'm on Stack Overflow, so Okay, let's use the flawed approach, just so we can get something working. I'll show you. Actually, I don't even know if we can test this. I don't think we can test this in the sim, can we? In the previews. So it's not going to work anyway. So anyway, the idea is that we create a CM motion manager. We call start device motion updates, and that gives us a closure, right? So every single time something changes, we get a new value back. So it looks like this. I'll paste it in for you, so you can see what it looks like. And then in here we get that information. So all we would want like is maybe one of these values. And from what I remember, these do not change based on the rotation of the app, of the device. So you know when you rotate your device and then it like the screen flips and then it's like a different orientation. I think these still keep the same way. So you need to do, you need to detect the orientation change. So what that means basically is if you're holding the phone vertical and you go tip it forwards and backwards, let's say that's pitch. I don't know which one it is. Let's say that's pitch. And then you rotate it this way and then you tip it forward and backwards. That's not pitch. So you're not going to get the same motion. It's going to go. So what you want to do is like, if you want to tip it forwards and backwards, you want the stars to sort of go up and down, right? When you go and tip it forward backwards. If you rotate and go sideways, they won't go up and down in the new view. They'll go like this, like there. So you need to like detect when the phone is flipped, and then because I had a lot of trouble trying to get like a shimmery effect, like make elements on the app shiny, like light is reflecting off them but then when you rotate the device, the whole thing broke. And I think my solution for that was to just fix it to portrait mode. But anyway. Once you get these values in, you can pull these out, and we could plug them in up the top here, into the offset, so that even if you're not swiping, these values will be updated just with a little bit of a little shake of the device, which would be kind of cool. What do we got here? Success. If you were to create different star patterns and lay them, then it'd be perfect. It'd be pretty neat if the background gradient changed to a dark mode if the user opens the app up at night. Yeah. But then you need night though. Where and what part of the world? You can't just be like, oh, it's 5 p.m. so it's gonna be night. You might be on the South Pole, right? And you won't see night for months. I guess if you worked on the South Pole, you'd probably have a particular time zone where night would be like 8 p.m. or something, and then you could go by that. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah, 100%. We could do something like that. The other thing is, what I'd like to do is, like, we could change these. Let's do something else. One more fun thing before we finish up, okay? So we've got the offset, and this is like big numbers, right? This is like 1,000. So if we could... I'm just going to try something here. If we go this value, this red value, I don't want to put in offset. We need to divide by... We need to multiply... Is it 0.001? What do we get? What do we get? It's like the Northern Lights, right? It's a little bit shimmery. I think they're rounding errors. We've got this little bit of or something. But check that out. Like, come on. So what I'm doing is I'm passing the offset into the red value of the gradient. So here it must be 0. And then that's why there's no effect. We can like 0 red. So maybe if we do like a plus. Yeah. I mean, that can be tweaked, right? It's not quite right, is it? It's weird. That would be neat if the color was nicer. Yeah, yes. But like we can use that offset to do all sorts of stuff, can't we? So we've got our gradient colors. We can even combine gradients. Like we could layer these up and have like transparency in there, so that the colors sort of shift around. I really like the idea of remember the old sort of. Oh, yeah, have you still got them now? Are they still there? Remember the wallpapers that had the moving orbs on iOS? Let's see if we still got that. Wallpaper. We can add a new one. Have we got anything? Oh, they got the kaleidoscope ones. Unity. Okay. The bubble color. I don't know. They're in there somewhere. You could do something like that. That's just giving me another idea too. I haven't got any messages, so I think I can go for a little bit longer because I have another idea I want to try. I mean, as long as people are hanging around, I have another idea. Let's do this. Let's create a... I think we need this. And I think we need to add an emitter. And how do we play this thing? Did everyone see where I'm going with this? Oh, animate. Nothing's happening. Keeping you entertained, that's good. I'm trying to work out, because I know what we need to do is create a, we need to create a particle file. And let's go with, oh yeah, so we don't want anything that's falling, right? We want to do like, this one. This is kind of what we want. I'll change these values in a minute, but we do need I still think we need a scene. Actually, we might not need one. And I remember playing around with scenes. I used to get like Xcode crashes all the time. So let's just avoid that for now. The info view. So what we need to put in here is, we got to import sprite kit. Import sprite kit. And then in here, there is like a sprite view, I think, and we pass through a scene, which is SK scene. We need to create that. So I think it's a class, particle scene and SK scene. And if we do a build, it'll tell us we're missing. We cannot recreate this every single time the view is invalidated. So we need to go private var scene equals particle scene. Give me 1 second. All right, hang on a sec, guys. So we got this scene in here now, and we got this black background. I think on the initializer here, what we need, usually it gives you, Oh, man, I was hoping it was going to give me a... oh yeah, init size. Can we go with just this? And then we go particle emitter equals k emitter node. Yeah, we want an emitter node, and we want to pass the file through, which is called... and then we go add child node particle emitter. We might need to set like its position and stuff, but that's okay. So let's just refresh this and see what we get. Failed to build. Why? Init coder must be... oh, okay. Okay. Must be unwrapped. Oh yeah, because if the file name is missing, it's not going to work. Wait for the preview. Self use the method call add child before super init. Okay, super init. It's been a while since I worked with these. Sprite kit. Okay, we're running the preview now. Fatal error. What do we got here? I hate these. Particle scene. Oh, it needs to be init with size. That's okay. We can do that. And the problem now is we need to pass through the size here, and this size we don't have what this size is. So we can make one up. If we have our particle system that's large enough, it can expand to fill, I don't know, a 4K max screen if you wanted. But these are the things that you need to think about when you're setting the size of your scene. So what we can do in this instance for the previews at the moment, we can just go with our UI screen, main bounds, I think size, and that'll just, this will work for now. But if we switch to like iPad, or we do a rotation, it's going to be all messed up because this is, I don't think, we won't get this, we might get this view recreated and then we get this new scene created when we rotate. See, a lot of what I do is, and talking to you guys is like thinking out loud. So I jump from thought to thought, and if you can't follow, it's fine because I barely follow my own thoughts. So if it's confusing, I'm sorry. But the idea I'm getting at is like when you rotate, the bound and size may not change, but if the entire view is getting recreated and this is getting updated, it probably will. But if it doesn't, when you do the rotation, you might have it. So at the moment, the screens are vertical, right? It's a portrait. And when you rotate horizontal, the scene may stay portrait. And so you're not going to get the particles across the entire view. And you can see here, the Sprite Kit has its coordinate system 0, 0 at the bottom left. I think UI Kits is the top left. And so what we need to do is we need to change the position of the particle, right? So we go particle emitter, and we need to change the position to... yeah, okay, I got it right. Particle emitter position dot x equals size dot width divided by 2, and they'll put it in the middle. And the size of the particles, like this rectangle area that we've got, that is dictated by another property on the emitter itself. So if we go back to this setup here, on the right side we've got like the position range, so 360 to 650. So if we increase this X value, you can see how it's much wider now, right? So you can use this to like play around with the preview itself in the particle preview, and change these values, and these will go across into your code as well when you load this file. But the problem is, if you want to do like iPad, iPhone, or external Apple TV, and you're doing like 4K, you can't stick with these X and Y values here. Like this is at 1300 by 650. That's going to be very small on a 4K screen, right? So what you need to do is get the values of the screen, like the resolution of the screen that you're presenting this on. And that's the size that this should be, the resolution of the screen. And so what you'll need to do in code is go particle emitter, particle position or position range, and make changes to those values so that it expands the full size of the screen. Another thing is the scale comes into effect as well. So see how large these are on the iPhone? On a 4K large TV, they may end up being really, really small dots. So you need to go and change the scale based on the scale of the This is, so I had to, so in my Summoning Stone app, I have a little feature called weather effects. So you can actually put artwork up on a connected TV, and that also allows you to play the music and sound effects through your sound system. So if you've got surround sound, you can play your music and sound effects through that. And generally people have the surround sound hooked up to their TV. And if you have like an Apple TV, you can stream the app to that and it'll show a big piece of artwork, and you can put like weather effects across it, which I've done with particles. And I had a lot of trouble getting the particles to look right on the external TV, like whether they're like regular standard HD or 4K. So you can't hard code values when it comes to like games and stuff. You kind of have to, yeah, all games are based on the resolutions now. I mean, back in the day, you know, you only had like 640 by 480 or something like monitors, and it was fine to. But have you ever tried playing one of those on a modern monitor now? Like they break. But anyway, so we have a problem here. You can see that the problem is that we have we don't have a clear background, and I think what we can do. It's not background color, because if you set background color to clear, that doesn't fix it. No, it just sets it to black. So what you need to do is opacity. Oh, it's like scene. I've got to look it up. There's a special property to toggle it on and off, right? Toggle the transparency. And Google's not working. Come on. Come on. Okay, scene with set the scene's background color to clear, which I've done. Enable allows transparency. So on the view, SK view, no. Oh no, Xcode crashed. Oh, come on. Yeah, it always messes up when you're trying to do stuff with like SpriteKit at the moment. I don't know why. SwiftUI, let's change this transparent SwiftUI. Oh, it's the parameter. It's the parameter. I think. All you need to do is set the scene background to clear and pass options as a parameter to the sprite view. Options. It's options. It's options. Last transparency. Let's rerun this. Come on. It's kind of annoying how it's like a little bit hidden there, hey? Oh, I've got to wait for the simulator boot up again. Come on. I think we can't make changes on the fly to this emitter, which is kind of annoying. There might be a way to do it. So the particle scene, you want to be able to pass through. So the idea is like maybe you can change the birth rate of the particles based on the position of the swipe. So instead of like this setup, we've got we want to change. I think everyone gets the idea, right, of how this works. So if we've got, like, we can change the color to something much nicer, like even just white, right? And then we need to change like the alpha can probably go down. We might make it more like a gas cloud of some sort. The shape, like the texture, the pentagon shape is probably not quite right. So here we got some dust. We can make it like sort of dusty. So it's very faint now. You might even be able to see that. If I go back to our star sign stuff here. I think we need to recreate this. Come on. Yeah. And so I think another setting there is that you can push it, like simulate it ahead, because you notice when the screen starts, they start fading in. You kind of want to, have you ever played a game where like there's been particle effects? Like there's one particular one, I can't remember what it was, but there's like water coming over a waterfall. If you turn away from it and then look back, you watch the water start coming over the waterfall again, and you turn around and come back, and then it just starts again, because they haven't like preloaded the particles, which is kind of funny. So we got like a nice little particle effects there. So what we want to do with that view is also do a little bit of an offset, and I say we keep this to, let's just go 0. Oh, that's heaps. Yeah. So you can see how we've just gone off bounds for the particles there, like that you don't see any more there. So, you might not even be able to see it on your screen. I don't know what sort of qualities it's coming through at. So let's just go 0.02. And we'll have it move with some of the stars further up. So we scroll across. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So you can create like like gas effects using this as well. And they're dynamic, right? So the stars are just kind of just sitting there. With the particles, you could probably have them like twinkle or just go through different phases. Have a shooting star every now and then. Like you could turn the birth rate right down and use the rain effect, and then just have like a shooting star pop across the screen. It's kind of cool. I don't like the color change here, so let's just go. Yeah. Oh, I do like the color change. I just don't like those colors. Anyway, I'm off. I'm done. So we've done way more than we planned to do, really. So we had a bit of experimentation with like particle effects. We got the parallax scrolling. So all we had to do is put things in a Z-stack, grab the offset of items within a scroll view. It's actually the offset of the H stack within the scroll view. And we got what is actually really fascinating is that it knows to lock in. So we've got this for each. It like locks to the text at the bottom here when we swipe across. Next stream, what we'll do is we'll actually put the constellation up here, and that will make this screen pop a lot more. And then we'll put description text underneath it. Yeah. And then we can launch this from anywhere, or in the app for like an info button. The other thing we did tonight is we went through and we created this screen. So you can pick the date you were born. At the moment, we've only got 2 dates in here, 21st of March. Star sign is Aries. We go continue. And then we get this. And if we reload, we'll get a nice passive aggressive horoscope for the day. Sure, here you go, I suppose. Oh, daring Aries, you'll just ignore this advice as usual, but your stubborn pride could cost you today. Maybe for once, just look before you leap. I mean, it's your life, not mine. Let's get, I need to go undo some of the prompt changes that we made with the, I don't think I'm going to go with markdown and stuff. It seems like it's adding hashtags, which isn't something we want, right? We'll be adding a paywall in this app, if so, we'll have next stream. Maybe. I don't know if there'll be the next one. Maybe. I'll write it down. And I want to use Apple's new paywall that they've got. So I don't know if there's going to be back-end work that I need to do for that. Probably is, which means I'll need to open up App Store Connect. And I'm hoping that I can do that on stream. I don't think there's too much private information in there, unless you go to like the contacts or the user screen. I should be able to do that on stream. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah, maybe we'll do it. We'll experiment with that. I just don't know how the paywall is going to work yet. Like what we're actually going to sell. It's going to be subscription, but if I add a paywall, I also need to add like a way to lock stuff behind it, or what item's going to be locked behind it. So it needs to be saved somewhere. See how I go. But yeah, like, thanks for joining me. I kind of have to go to bed. It's pretty late. So I will see you all next time. There you are. Hello. See ya.